This mailbag question is a little different. It actually came to us from one of our team members at the AMC head office who asked if we've seen this early animatic form from the Avengers that gives us a little peek into the upcoming Avengers 2. Take a look.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of narrate this as we go. So now, for those who don't know what an animatic is, very, very early with movies that have budgets, in the movie making stage, I never had animatics for any of my movies. In the very early stages, sometimes what they'll do is they'll have storyboards, but then also what they'll do is they'll do these little rough kind of animations to kind of give a better vision for what it is they're trying to pull across. And oftentimes these early animatics will then turn out very different from the movie. What is really cool about this little video is it shows us Jarvis starting to take a little bit of a turn. Just take a look at this. So he's walking down some kind of hall, and you can read what he's saying. So it's Tony talking to Jarvis, and Jarvis starts saying some crazy stuff. Sir, it's inadvisable for you to regroup with the others right now. Why is that? Because you're better than they are. I'm sexier and more talented, but that's not quite the same. Then Jarvis says, you built all of this. You built this beautiful tower, and now they want to drag you down to their level. So anyway, this conversation goes on a little bit longer, and the really interesting thing here is that that just little glimpse, and here's what I find fascinating about that animatic that we see now, is that we see Jarvis has another side to him, perhaps. Or maybe he was corrupted a bit, maybe by Loki, or maybe by something else, or maybe it's the damage that was done to the house when it was destroyed by the faux Mandarin. There's a lot of different possibilities here, but this is the fascinating thing to me, and this is what wows me. What this shows me, because look, we've all been speculating that Ultron, in Age of Ultron, we know he wasn't created by Ant-Man, we know he was probably created by Tony Stark, and that probably Ultron's going to be a perverted, twisted, kind of bad evolution of Jarvis. What this animatic tells me from the first Avengers movie is that Joss Whedon was thinking of this the whole time.
Yeah.
That Joss Whedon didn't just make Avengers and then, we'll see what happens next. No, he made Avengers already thinking 3 steps ahead, knowing where he wanted to go, and was doing all that kind of stuff. Now, it's also interesting, Schnepp and I were just talking about this, there's another animatic that was released with this one showing the Avengers grouping in the street, you know, that iconic scene, but in the animatic, Wasp is there. So that was kind of cool, and we've already known that Wasp was in the earlier drafts of the script. But so this tells me Whedon's been thinking about this. This wasn't a snap decision. They've known they were going to go this direction for a very long time, and I think it's pretty damn cool. Schnepp, you took a look at the animatic. What did you think?
Yeah, and especially directing animation, man, they spent so much time and money making these animatics just to change them completely. I mean, it's like that's a really thorough animatic, because in animation, that's what we do. It's animatics before we ever do one drop of animation. You have to thoroughly, make all your scenes and backgrounds. This was like a very, very intense. All of the animatics that released this week, that from the Avengers, from Iron Man 3, they're all really intense and really well done. So, and completely different from what you actually saw in the final product, like the opening of the Avengers with Iron Man chasing after Loki inside a subway station. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's fantastic. So it's like I don't know. I mean, with this, it definitely proves that Ultron is going to be Jarvis. I think it's without a shadow of a doubt. And that was a very early little inkling into, hey, Jarvis seems to have a kind of a tweaked out perspective on the way Tony Stark interacts with the world. So it's very kind of ominous, and then Loki shows up, which is even more of a foreboding type of a little hint. It's like, who are you talking to? Your little evil friend, So yeah, I think it's great. So
yeah.